Hello and welcome to our channel. In July 2020, we began living nomadically in our 13-foot 1972 bowler and traveled around the western part of Canada. However, in November of 2021, we crossed over into the United States to go visit Tarah's family and do some exploring along the way. Hey Tarah, where are we?
Grand Canyon.
Yeah. How could I know for sure? How can I believe you? What proof do you have?
Want me to walk over there?
I don't know. What's over there?
The Grand Canyon.
I don't believe you.
Shut up.
Well, that's some nice work there, Bob Ross. I think it's painting. What do you think?
You're pretty
Beautiful. The Grand Canyon, of course, was a must. There was no way to pass by there and not make the stop. Photos and videos could never do it justice. The sheer magnitude of its beauty can only be comprehended when physically there. We carried on to Texas. Cadillac Ranch in Amarillo, Texas was another place we really wanted to see. These 10 Cadillacs have been buried in the ground since 1974. We finally arrived in Oklahoma to visit with Tarah's family. Mr. Bennie made some new friends, and we adopted a new dog. Meet Stella. And trust me, she is quite a character. She is continually surprising us with her strange antics and behaviors. After a few weeks of visiting in Oklahoma, it was time to hit the road and explore a bit of Missouri and Arkansas. While in Missouri, we stopped at the Fantastic Caverns, which is located just outside of Springfield, Missouri. Fantastic Caverns is the only cave in North America to offer a completely ride-through tour, which lasts about 55 minutes. The tour is done by a Jeep-drawn tram. We then headed south into Arkansas. Unfortunately, we did not get to see as much of Arkansas as we had hoped. Instead, we found ourselves completely engulfed in the fog. We returned back to Oklahoma to celebrate Christmas and birthdays with Tarah's family. In January of 2022, we hit the road again. Determined to outrun the winter in Oklahoma, we headed into Texas. We stayed at this amazing spot right on the Gulf of Mexico called Boulevard Peninsula, boondocking on the beach just feet away from the ocean. The next place we stopped was New Orleans. We spent the day driving around and exploring the famous French Quarter. And our morning would not be complete if we did not stop at Café du Mont for their famous beignets. In order to outrun another winter storm that was coming, we beelined it straight to Florida. We spent the months of January and February snowbirding in Florida. We traveled around the state of Florida, exploring different areas and meeting some amazing people. One of our all-time favorite things to do in Florida was search for alligators in the wild and birdwatching. Oh, here we are walking down the trail. There he is. Right off the trail. There's the road. There's the gator. He's looking at us. The gator really was watching our every move. We truly loved every minute of it. But don't be fooled by these sunbathing reptiles. They can move as fast as lightning when they want to. There 1 minute, gone the next second. But they are always watching you. We left Florida and headed through Georgia and South Carolina. Then we went through North Carolina and Tennessee. We were Oklahoma bound once again to see Tara's family, but first we stopped in Arkansas. By snowbirding in Florida for the winter, we had hoped to miss most of the cold weather. But a few days after arriving in Oklahoma, it was clear we didn't avoid all the winter weather. And a few days after that, we got some freezing rain. But don't get me wrong, the weather's not always bad in Oklahoma. They sure do have the most beautiful sunsets. And of course, the full Oklahoma experience would not be complete without staying there through tornado season. On this particular evening, they were calling for not only tornadoes and flash flooding, but also hail the size of baseballs. Even if a tornado didn't actually touch down where we were, the fact that the hail could be that size had us quite concerned about what damage it could do to the bowler. Feeling overly exposed, parked out in the open, thinking baseball-sized hail was going to come crashing down onto our fan and our fiberglass trailer, we hooked up as quickly as we could. This was just one of many severe weather days we experienced while in Oklahoma, and living in a 13-foot fiberglass trailer made it extra concerning for us what that type of weather could do to a trailer like ours, whether it be damage from high winds, large hail, or tornadoes. So at times we found ourselves having to get creative. Sometimes that meant hooking up and looking for covered spaces to park to protect the bowler. And sometimes the weather honestly didn't look like too much. But it always reminds me of that scene, Twister, when Helen Hunt's character can just feel it in the air. There is truth to that for many of the people who have grown up in the United States. Tara grew up largely in the Tornado Alley part of the United States. Tara can wake up to a morning of completely blue skies and just know that severe weather is on its way. It's hard for her to explain how, but something to do with maybe the pressure in the air. On this particular occasion, one of Tara's family's neighbors allowed us to park the bowler in his covered area to protect it. We found a nearby tree to park the truck under, hoping that the limbs and branches of the tree would help protect the truck from the anticipated hail. During this severe weather storm, the hail did come. It was not the size of baseballs, however it was still some of the largest hails I have ever seen in my life. And unfortunately, the truck did not go completely unscathed. A few pieces of hail slipped through the branches and landed directly on the truck. And sometimes these storms roll out just as quickly as they appeared. Our bowler is not equipped with air conditioning, and it wasn't long before the Oklahoma weather became too hot for us, and we were super excited to hit the road again. But just before we left, we filed a visitor extension for myself, which would allow us to keep exploring the United States. As a Canadian, my 6 months that was permitted was almost over. With the visitor extension filed, we hit the road again, Colorado bound in search of cooler weather. We knew very little about Colorado before we arrived, and it truly is a beautiful state.
Stella, you having a good nap? Silly girl.
During the summer of 2022, we fell in love with Colorado. And while on a routine trip to town for errands, we witnessed a dramatic dog rescue from the Rio Grande. A full video will be posted in the comments below in case you want to watch the full rescue. But just to reassure you, the dog was rescued and is safe. We spent a couple months living nomadically off-grid in Colorado. Even with my visitor visa extended, there was always a feeling of a countdown clock ticking away for when our adventures in the United States would come to an end. Eager to see more, we headed into Wyoming, Nebraska, Kansas, Texas, and then back to Oklahoma. Tarah is an American citizen born and raised, so she is permitted to stay here in the United States as long as she likes. I, however, am a Canadian with my visitor extension set to expire within the next month or two. Tarah and I, however, were not quite ready to leave the United States yet. We felt there were so many more states to see and adventures to be had. So it was here, in Oklahoma, where you find us in this video, and spent the next month working on a green card application for me. It's a common misconception that marriage to an American entitles you to citizenship or a green card. Trust me, that is not the case. We spent countless hours at a public library using the internet and printing off the dozens of forms that we needed for part of the application. We were so thankful for the resources provided to us by this local community inside their library. I could not imagine how hard it would have been without the access to the tools that they provided us. However, that being said, it sure felt strange to spend so much time indoors under fluorescent lighting around high-speed internet. And I mean, we literally spent weeks in that library preparing this paperwork. And to all of our friends and family who are watching this video and sent us letters of support, thank you very much. We cannot thank you enough. Your support in this endeavor means the world to us. Oh, and did I mention how much paperwork there was? This is Tarah trying to get the final package into a single envelope.
Well, Tarah, how does it feel?
It's nerve-wracking, but excited. Exciting?
Yes. What do you got in your hands there, Tarah?
Very important packet of paperwork.
After weeks of hard work, the day had finally come. We were at the post office to mail the package. It was hard to believe the day had come. The green card application for myself that we had worked so hard on was finally out in the mail. But of course, we couldn't work on the green card application all day long, every day. Stay tuned for future videos from us that show some of the shenanigans we get up to while we're in Oklahoma. Some of the things include rodeos, pie eating contests, chili cook-offs, parades, the Oklahoma State Fair, and much, much more. We hope you enjoyed today's video. We appreciate each and every one of you who stopped by to watch our videos, like, and comment. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notifications icon so you don't miss any of our future videos to come. We look forward to sharing more of our videos with each and every one of you.